Pam. And if you're just joining us, thank you. I know that after school time is precious to everybody, and especially when the weather's nice. So I'll just say quickly, hello, I'm Louise from ThingLink, and I look after our education, community and partnerships. I've been here for a couple of years. I'm actually in Scotland as well, so I live on the Moray coast. My background is in education, and I used to work for the Highland Council, and I looked after our digital learning and teaching strategies there, and then got heavily involved in the sort of Chromebook pilots, and then made a jump to Google, and I was the Google for Education manager for Scotland for a couple of years, and that's how I came to spend and love time working with Pam in the school there, where we had this lovely idea to make some of the values boards up into ThingLinks. And I'm sure that you've all had a chance to have a look at it, but ThingLink genuinely is the nicest EdTech tool out there. It plays nicely with all the other EdTech tools and everybody loves it. So that's quite a nice introduction. What I have done is I have created a Google slide deck, which I've shared with you. So you should have access to that now. Let me just go back to this screen. And, you know, this is yours to keep. You can make a copy of it, edit it, add other links in, and I've just put a whole bunch of nice links in there as well to examples and some of our case studies and some tips and tricks as well. So I'm just going to hit the start button. So as I mentioned, ThingLink plays nicely with everyone. We are a Microsoft Gold partner, and that's really important for you to know because we play nicely with all the Microsoft tools. And if you're already using Microsoft tools, then you'll be aware of Immersive Reader, which is a fantastic accessibility tool, and that is actually baked into our ThingLink text tags. And that's because of the partnership we have with Microsoft. And we also partner with Google for Education. You can use us with Google Classroom, and we actually have a share to Google Classroom function, and you can embed other Google products in ThingLink as well. So Google Forms just work beautifully. And we also work with Canva, so you can create your nice backgrounds. And I'm just going to show you a nice example. So I was meant to be at vet last week, and you can all feel really sorry for me, but I had COVID-esque symptoms, although I tested negative, but I was floored for the whole week and didn't make it down to vet. But what I did do was make this kind of interactive business card, and actually had this on postcards. And when you went onto the QR code, it took you to my ThingLink, which just looks beautiful on a mobile phone as well. So ThingLink works really well on mobile devices. It plays with all your devices. It works brilliantly on Chromebooks as well. So I just wanted to show this kind of business card and, you know, some of the key functions, which I thought would kind of set us up nicely as well. So as you can see here, this is a text and media tag, and it's this text here that actually opens up into Immersive Reader. And if you haven't used Immersive Reader, you'll see you've got this little book and speaker icon button. And what that means is that you have got automatically text-to-speech
interactive ThingLink
built into those tags. But what a lot of people sometimes skip out with Immersive Reader is that you can translate all of that text into over 80 different languages. And you've also got text-to-speech back there as well. So what you're enabling people to do is to take an image, and you're bringing that image to life by putting in, you know, your additional text, which is then accessible. And we also, as I put this in, to show people what the different types of tags are. And the easiest way to remember is there are 5 different types of base media that you can use with ThingLink, and we'll talk about that in a second. And there's also 5 different types of tags. And I've put the link to this on the slide deck so you can have a look at it as well. But this is our text and media tag, as I just showed you in the previous tag. But what you can also do is add in images, and when you click on the images, they'll enlarge to the size of the tag container. But you can also have videos in there as well. So you could have a video and text. So instantly, as educators, you'll be fully aware of, if you want to get a message across, you might have it in a picture, but you might also want to have that text that can be translated. You might even want to put a video of someone, being inviting and talking to the audience as well. You could even use sign language in there. And that's all contained within that tag. That's a text and media tag. That's one of the most powerful tags. You've also got a plain text label, and you can embed content in as well. And an embed tag is where you can cut and paste a web link, like a YouTube web link or a Google form or a Microsoft form or a Google map. Don't worry, I'm going to show you all this and how to do it. I'm just showing you the tag types. You can create little poll tags as well. These are quick snap polls where people can just answer, and the results are there, a bit like Twitter when you see a Twitter poll, that kind of thing. And then you can also link all your ThingLinks together, and this is where it's called a tour tag. So when you see people create virtual tours, that's all it is. They created this 360 ThingLink. Here we go. And I can show you what the text and media tag looks like. Hello and welcome to our gallery. Take a trip. And that's where you've got a video in, and I'm just saying welcome to our gallery. And you've got stop and play functions on this. You can change the volume, make it big, and you can also have picture in picture. So the idea for me on that was, in terms of learning, you could give instructions that people can listen to, pause, start again, replay. You could have the instructions in text, and you've also got immersive reader. So you're being kind of truly multimodal. But that option to link your ThingLinks together is just with the tour tag. So you'll have so many different options of what you can do with ThingLink with those 5 different tag types. I'm going to click the home button and now just show you what you can do with the base media as well. So I've obviously used a tour tag to link these ThingLinks together for my business card. But your image, if you like, is what I'm saying here is your base media. So when you start creating ThingLinks, and we're going to go in to have a look at that, you can use an image, and that might be a photo. It could be an image that you've created, like this little infographic one I've created here. And excuse me, and I created this ThingLink. Get some water. To show people what the 6 rules of good customer engagement are. And that's a text and media tag that I created, and I just put a video in there to show that. There we go. So 5 types of base media, that's the image. Another type of base media that you can add tags to is a video. And I've just created a video with Canva, excuse me. And you can see that I can put these hotspots in, which I've just put text and media tags in, but not added any media, but just put the text in to show instructions of how to do a golf swing. That's clearly not me. My golf is not that good. So you can use a video as your base media as well. You can also upload a 360-degree image to ThingLink and add tags in. And this is a university in Helsinki where the students have created this wonderful art gallery, and then they've just taken a 360 image of the art gallery, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, and they've then added tags to it as well, so you can go in and explore all of the all of the exhibits in the gallery. And then another type of base media that you can upload to ThingLink is a 360 video. Now, I don't know if I've got it on me. I should have it somewhere, but you can get a 360 video camera. I use a Theta 360. And what it means is that you're just taking a video, but you're actually doing it with that sort of 360 sort of view. And then you could use that as a base image. And this is actually to show students what it's like to work in the chemistry lab. And they've just put all of these different tags into that 360 image as well. And last but no means least, You can also upload 3D models into ThingLink. I use something called Sketchfab, where you can download pre-made 3D models, and then you can upload to ThingLink, and then you can add tags to them. And this is me demonstrating here how to create, how to use the fire extinguisher. So that's essentially as hard as ThingLink gets. You'll upload your base media, and then you can add tags to it. And once it's all ready, then you can click the share button, and you can share your ThingLink by embedding the whole ThingLink into a website. You can share it by link. You can publish it to social, where we've added in your buttons to share it to Google Classroom as well, and you can choose which class that you want to share that into. You can even embed a ThingLink into PowerPoint if you wanted to as well. And last but no means least, you can also view your ThingLinks, and if you think about 360 tours or creating a 360 for a project, and you'll be able to view those with things like Class VR, or you'll be able to view them with Google Cardboard or those kinds of headsets. So I'm just going to stop there and come back to you and just ask if there's any questions so far. That was just a real quick whistle stop to just show you what ThingLink looks like if you haven't already looked at it, and you can click on that in the Google slide deck as well and explore it. But this is your time as well, so if you've got any questions at all, you're welcome to just stop and ask them. And yeah, if anyone wants to ask them in the chat as well, we can go back to the chat. So if there are no questions, I will just press on then. So as I've mentioned, ThingLink is a way for you to elevate your images, your videos, your 360 media, and make them fully interactive with clickable tags. And as you saw, my little museum there as well. And imagine you're able to, you know, create really lovely immersive experiences for your students. And what you'll also see when I show you in a second when we go into the editor is that we've actually got a catalogue of 360 images that you can clone and use as well. So you're able to access that library, all part of your Renfrewshire account. So you might want to think about how you might use this in learning, and I've got some really nice examples for you. So if someone, I think, is not unmuted, so if you could mute your camera, mute your microphone, that would be great, because I'm getting a little bit of feedback there. So when we first went into lockdown, I think ThingLink was used in new ways that we hadn't really seen before. And I love this example so much that I just wanted to share it with you. So this is a choice board. So it is a really good example of universal design of learning as well. And the educator here said that parents were telling her they were getting overwhelmed with so many different kind of web links and instructions and everything being all over the place, and lots of teachers, you know, sending out different types of information, that they wanted one place for it to go on. So Laurie, and she's in Texas, created this choice board, and she used Canva, which is a really, really super free for schools design package. But you could use a PowerPoint, you could use a Google slide, you could use anything you wanted as your base image. And what she's done here is that she's put these little tags in, and what I liked about them is that she used this background and just edited it every week. So it was like week 3 focus, but the students became familiar with it, so they knew where to go for the weekly lesson. And also the teachers were putting in, you know, lots of little kind of greetings. So if I click on this button here, there's actually a ThingLink.
Hi, I hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to welcome you to our new classroom and way of learning. I hope you are taking.
So what she's done here is use the text and media tag, and that's actually just a kind of button that you can add in your text and media tag with a web link to another ThingLink, because she's decided to do that. And with ThingLink, you can add audio over the images as well. And she felt comfortable to do that. But of course, you could embed a video as well. But these different tag types, like the red pencil has more intensive work, maybe a bit further up the curriculum than the blue works as well. And then there's other online options and games, the problem of the day. And I just love that example because it was just so simple. And that was for a weekly maths lesson where the parents knew that everything that was required was in that. And it's just so simple to share. This has had 5,131 views as well, because you can see how many views you've had. And you can also see the statistics as well. So here you've got daily stats as well, which buttons were more popular than others. And these are really nice metrics of engagement that help you as well, because you can see kind of what's been popular, those kinds of things. So I thought that was just a really nice example to show you. And here's some really handy things. So on the left here, it's a link to a blog post that I've written, which is 5 strategies for using interactive media to accelerate learning experiences. And the 5 strategies that I've used there, I've called out project-based learning. It's fantastic for, but I also wanted to show you the 2 examples, which I thought showed progression in action, or a line of progression from CFE. So say, you know, this is a STEM activity, and I just love this one. This is a shoebox project, and who doesn't love a shoebox project, where the students have turned the shoebox into a room, and you can click on it, explore it. And in this example, I think I've just put a copy and a clone in here. What they loved about it is the students made their shoebox, but they could also put in the 360 of what it was like to be in their shoebox. It just elevated their experience. And they were even able to add in like the techniques they used to make the lamp. So they'd taken pictures and uploaded it into the ThingLink they've made of this project. And there's another one in here, and it even shows how they built the LED circuit to go in. So this is a real elevated experience of the shoebox project, and you know, it just brought it to life. And the teacher, Michael Fricano, he actually said the students were more engaged in that activity because they knew they were collecting the images as they went along to show their working for the completed project. Yeah, I just love that. And then this one here at the bottom is the equivalent of higher kind of art, and the students here were all tasked with creating a diorama. So it's kind of like a box that they've created in the style of their favorite artist. And this student has created their whole diorama dedicated to Frida Kahlo. And they've annotated. And it's in French. This is actually from Canada, French-speaking Canada. And each student had a different artist that they were researching, and I just think that that really does show like 2 ends of a really nice line of progression. And you think those young people will be, you know, future designers and architects and builders and, you know, all those kinds of industries. But you know, these are learning experiences which leave a really memorable imprint, and they can obviously keep those examples as well. Anyway, I could talk about those all day. We're used extensively in higher education. So, you know, think about ways you might use it for, this is just a YouTube clip to show this in action, but the University of Central Lancashire created escape rooms with 360 as well, and then added the tags in. And this was to tackle some really thorny issues around learning about sepsis. And I worked with the Dr. Abalasha, who put this together, and we talked about the importance of actually involving the students in designing the escape rooms as well, and that added a whole nother kind of peer feedback kind of element to it. So they had to really think about the steps and the information and how to present the information, how to make it accessible, all those kinds of things. And that's actually won an award in the Nursing Times. So I've talked enough now, I think, about kind of some nice uses of ThingLink. All of those links are in there so you can explore them. But ThingLink works brilliantly, as I mentioned, on Chromebooks. It's all browser-based. But we also are an iPad app, so you could put the ThingLink app on iPads. I'm not sure of the setup there. Pam can probably tell you a bit more about how that might work. So the difference between our app, which is for mobile phones and iPads, etc., is that it enables you to take the pictures actually in the app as well. But it also means if you've got 360 images, so you can use Google Street View to take those 360 images and add that to your phone. And some mobile phones, like the iPhone 13, I think it is, has got a 360 camera built into it as well, or the option to take 360. So yeah, you could use your iPads for a creativity tool, but don't forget, you can also open it up on the same account in Chrome or a Mac or a PC in the browser, and everything will be there as well. So it's all synced to the same account. And if you want to open up an account, just let Pam know and she'll give you the invite code so you can be part of the Renfrewshire account. And don't worry, if you've already got a free teacher account, you can still use the invite code and it will scoop you up and make sure that you're part of the Renfrewshire party as well. And here's another ThingLink that I created to demonstrate PE, physical activity and sport, a conference in Aberdeen. And I've just put some nice examples in here as well for you to look at. And one of the examples, which is another one of my favorites, is a digital kind of resume or virtual or visual resume. And as some of you might know, I've done quite a bit of work on these in the past using things like Google Sites. But Hamish here, who actually lives in Abbeymoor, he's done a digital
Hello,
CV.
my name is Hamish and I ski with Cairngorm Biathlon and Nordic Ski Club.
And he's just put all of his interests in sports. So, you know, if you do get students using it, creating these and being able to share them is a really exciting thing to do as well. So I've probably shown you a lot about kind of examples, and you've got lots of links there of things to use. So I'm just going to recap and then we're going to dive straight into some really nice tips and tricks on how to create. So your 5 types of base media files: images, they can be JPEGs, PNG or GIF files, and 1920 times 1080 pixels is kind of like a good size. That's like a Google slide presentation size or a PowerPoint, or you can set that in Canva. It just means that it's 16:9, so it's like sort of 3/4 up across. And then with 360-degree images, you can use a JPEG, and as long as they're 2:1 ratio, they'll work as 360 images with headsets as well. When you upload a video, you can upload to 10 gigabytes. You probably get away with more. That's about an hour's worth of video. So essentially, you don't need to use YouTube anymore. You could upload a video to ThingLink and then share it that way. And a lot of teachers don't like to use YouTube because they end up down rabbit warrens or there's adverts. So yeah, you might want to use ThingLink for that. And you can also upload your 360-degree videos. And just to show you there, you know, your base media file images could be just photos. They could be any kind of infographic that you want to create. So I'm just going to come out of here now. Actually, that's a nice one. That's just a little GIF I've added there. That's Stirling High School that used it to create a virtual tour. And what they also did, which was very cool, was to show the direction of traffic now that the school had a different, it's probably gone now, but due to COVID requirements, they wanted to change the layout that people went around the school. Okay, so I'm just going to go back into my ThingLink account. So I'm in ThingLink now. So if you've never logged into ThingLink before, all you would do is go to thinglink.com and sign in. So you go to your login and you would enter in your email address that you created your account with and your password. So you create a free teacher account and then you get the invite code, and it would make sure that you're part of the Renfrewshire account. So I'm just going to click my login button. So it's thinglink.com, and then just log in. And when I log in, it will take me to my account page. I don't know why it's taking so long to log in. I can probably just go in one of these ways. Let me just go back here. Nope, hang on a second. That's because I'm already logged in. Here we go. So I am logged into my ThingLink account, and on the left here, you'll see my content. And this is all the kind of things that you create or have been shared with you. For example, if I wanted to, I could create a folder if I was part of Renfrewshire kind of tenancy or organisation account, and I could create a folder and share that just with Pam. So I just call that test and create the folder. And when you create your folder, you've got options if you wanted to share that folder with somebody. So you could have folders that everyone can access in your Renfrewshire account, or you can have ones that are private to you. It works very similar to kind of Google Drive folders there as well. And if you trash something, it stays in the trash until you empty the trash bin. So don't worry, if you do trash something, you can pop it back up again. So I'm just going to go through how you would access our 360 library and how you can create ThingLinks from scratch as well. So here, yours might be a little bit different to mine because I've got an admin account, but you'll definitely see this 360 library. And when you go into the 360 library, or it might be in Learning Centre, should be in 360 library, here's our collection of 360 images, which you can use. And say I wanted to use something like a picture of a situation, and I've got one here of a shop and a marketplace in Aleppo. I could then clone this image, and then that image would be in my account. That's how you would use our library of 360 images. I'll just go back to my content, and there I've got my clone. But you guys probably getting started will want to hit the big blue create button. And when you hit the big blue create button, this is where you can drag and drop your assets over. So you can just drag things over from your desktop files. You can also integrate with your Google Drive. So you could import images, videos, 360 videos or 360 images from your Google Drive. You can connect your OneDrive. You can design with Canva, and you need a Canva account to do that. Or you can use our library that we've developed with Unsplash, because then you've got a whole selection of images that you can use completely free, and there's no copyright worries there either. So you could use any of these nice images there. There's about 2 million images, or you can just upload your own. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to go to Shutterstock, and we'll do a search on, let's search for Scotland, and I'll just pick an image out there. Let's see if it comes up with anything. There we go. So I'm just going to find a nice image of a, oh, I don't know where that is, but we'll find out. So there we go. I've got a nice image. I'm going to click continue. And now that image is in my account page. And that's as easy as it is. You upload your media files, and then your media files will be in your content, and then you're ready to start adding tags. So if you haven't got your own content, you can use our 360 library, or you can search on Unsplash, or you could create them with Canva as well. So I'm just going to click on the image that I took from the Shutterstock, and here we've got a nice image which I'm not sure where it is. Shout out if you can recognize it. I think it might be somewhere on Sky or Open maybe. And you'll see that I have these icons on the top, which are the edit icon, then next to that is the privacy settings with the eye. And this is where you can choose how you want this to be available. So I'm just going to choose public and click save. So it's a bit like a Google Drive file. You can share it publicly, or you can share it unlisted, like anyone with the link, or you can keep it private. And you can also rename your images as well, or your ThingLinks. So I'm going to click rename, and it's at the moment it's called red and white concrete building beside body of water. So I'm just going to change that for the purposes of my demonstration to Highlands Town, even though I don't know where it is. And now whenever you share that, it will have Highland Town there as well. You can move this to a folder so you can organize things within your own content. And here you can see that you've got the stats, and you can clone your own images as well. So say I've made this and I really wanted to use all the tags that are in it again, and I wanted to just make a copy of it. You can do that. Now, this is the really cool thing as well. I can replace the background after I've added all my tags as well. So if you think, actually, that's completely the wrong image, I'd like to use something else, you can replace the background and change it there. And you just click upload and then choose whatever image you wanted to upload. And even if it was embedded anywhere, it would change the background for you. You can download it for offline use for Mac or Windows. That's really if you were struggling with not having any kind of signal, but it's not meant to be a way of storing ThingLinks. It's really just like if you had students that you really wanted to share something with and you knew they absolutely didn't have a connection and they were on a PC or Mac, then they would be able to download it. That doesn't work on Chromebook, so unfortunately as yet. And then of course you can move it to trash as well. So I'm just going to move it to trash, and you'll see that in my trash bin I have got all the content that I've trashed, and I can spin it back up as well or delete permanently. So I'm just going to open up one that I've already used as a training one, and I've called it the Highland Cow training example because it's just nice that I've got these tags there, and I'm going to show you how it all works now. Any questions so far? How are we doing? Anybody want to ask anything? Nope, I shall keep going then. Okay, so now that you've uploaded your images and you want to start adding your tags, or you've uploaded your video, or you've uploaded your 360, you simply click on the edit button, and this is what brings up your ability to add tags. So I'm just going to delete some of the tags that I've already got here, so I can delete all of these ones. Here we go, delete them, and then we can see them in action. There we go. So I've got my nice picture of the Highland Cow because I didn't know where that town was in that picture, so I'll do something I know. So I'm going to click add tag. So just to show you that again, you're going to add a tag, and it will come up with the icon, which is the last one you used. So for my first tag that I'm going to show you a text and media tag and how to do that. And in another tab, I'm just going to do a Google search on Highland Cow. There we go. And I've got Highland Cattle Wikipedia page, and I've got this nice text here that I want to put in my tag. So back in my example here, I'm going to show you that you can add a title. So I'm going to put Highland Cattle, and I can just paste in the description text. And it's this description text, remember, that opens up into Immersive Reader. Now, remember that I showed you with the Mrs. Williams example, she had a call to action button, and you can add a button in here if you want to. So I'm just going to take the URL of that Wikipedia page, and back in my tag, I'm going to paste that in, and that looks a bit rubbish at the moment. It just says ianwikipedia.org, but I'm going to say make that much more exciting and change the button text, which is now click here to find out more. There we go. And that is essentially my text and media tag, and I've just added in the text. But maybe I want to have another image of a Highland cow, and you've got a way of uploading images, and you could put multiple images here and they'll just play like a carousel, and you can reorder them if you want to as well. But you can also search on Unsplash, because this is where the integration works again. So I'm just going to put in another search term for Highland cow, and we'll put in another one. There we go. That's quite a cute one. We'll put that in there. So there we have it. We've got an image of another Highland cow, and if people click on that, it will open it up bigger, and you've got your text and media. Now, if you wanted to, you could upload audio to play when this tag opens, or it's got a built-in recorder. So if I click on the little microphone here, I can say, hello and welcome to Hamish, the Highland cow. I shall say, hello and welcome to Hamish, the Highland cow. And you don't need to listen to me again, but you can get the gist of it, that you can upload yourself speaking, doing an introduction, etc. And I'm going to click done now, and you can see that I've got this lovely tag, text and media tag, which when I click on, because I'm in the edit mode, opens up again. But that kind of tag icon doesn't look right, does it? We need something which is going to be like an information icon. And here, I'll show you again, click on change icon, and you could change the icon into something more appropriate, and there's about 2,000 different tag icon combinations. So I'm going to put a nice big I for information, and you can change the colorway if you like, and I'll turn it into a nice green eye and click done. So now I have a tag. You might see there's a little cross there as well. So if you wanted to have that pointing to something, you could do that as well. So you don't have to have tags on their own. You can give them, we call that anchors. So you can anchor that tag. So there you have it. You have your text and media tag to show the information about the Highland cow. So the next tag that I'm going to show you is the plain text label. And that's this one here. So add the tag. You can see it's got the icon that I had before. Add the plain text label. And I'm going to say image from Unsplash. There we go. It's actually got the text of who took it there. But I think this is just a nice little quick fire text tag that you could use as well. And again, you can change the icon into something more fitting. There we go. I'll just put an image icon. If you need to delete the tag, you just click delete. So the next tag that I'm going to show you is add content from website. And this is where you put your embed code. So if you're used to using things like Google Forms, you could embed a Google form in there. Oops, I don't want to show you that. How do I get that back? Let me see if I click back on my, have I lost my, how's that get that back? Hang on a sec, should be able to, there we go, that's back. So say, for example, you were using a YouTube link, you could post that in there, or you could post in a embed code from a Google form, for etc. But I'm going to open up a new tab here, and I'm going to go to maps.google.com, and I'm just going to do a search for Highland. There we go. And if I click the share button here, I get the, can copy the link, but you can get the embed code. I'm going to copy the HTML and back in my tag, I'm going to paste that in, and I now have a working map. And you could even have like directions in there, but this will work for any kind of third-party web tool. And I've actually created a Google Sheet to show you all the things that you can embed into a ThingLink. And if you click on the PPAS webinar, which is linked in your slide deck, there's an Excel Google Slides icon, and there I've just put all the things that you can embed in. You can embed a sway or scratch animations, yeah, all those kinds of things. Flipgrid, for example, that works really well as well. So when I'm going to change the icon into something more fitting, and I have I think I've got a maps icon somewhere. Let me find the map icon. Sure, there's one here. We'll just use, yeah, we'll use that one there, little globe. There we go. Nice blue one. Click done, and there we have it. I've now got my embedded map using the embed tag. The next tag I'm going to show you is to create the tour. And when you click on create the tour, what it does is it asks you to select a destination. And I'm going to select the scene, and you'll remember that I made, completely out of context, the 360 of the clone of the shop in Aleppo. And when people click on that now, it's going to link them to that 360 image, the ThingLink you created with tags if you've added them, and it will link you through. And of course, then if you had other tags that were linked in that ThingLink, you can link them all together. And you can add a little bit of text here as well. So I can say virtual tour. There we go. If you wanted to, you could put a question in there that they have to get right to progress, which is great for escape rooms. And again, I can just change the icon, and I'll just put that as a nice press button. And this is all mobile optimized as well, so it'll work for touch on touch screens as well. Now, the last thing that I'm going to show you is I'm going to click on the settings, because this is quite handy. You can change the color scheme of those buttons and arrows if you wanted to, and that's quite self-explanatory. You add in your different colors. You can disable the animation so these tags don't pulse anymore. You can create large pop-up windows. So you can see that's a large pop-up window, and click done. You can fit tag to media. That's if you've got images which are different sizes to the media. So I would have that. So they expand to the size of that container. And you can upload audio that will play throughout the whole ThingLink as well. That's what the teacher did when she introduced herself. She uploaded audio, or she recorded herself giving her introduction. It was just an image of her. So you've got loads of nice examples there. And you can also debrand and take off any of those icons that show at the bottom as well. So that's as hard as it gets. So I'm going to click done now. And here we have my Highland Cow training example, which is ready to share. And I want to show you something brand new, which hasn't been announced yet, but we released it on Friday. And that is that if you click share and you want to share this publicly, you can include a web accessibility link. And you would copy that embed code, and what that does is this makes any ThingLink that you created, it makes it compliant with screen readers. So I'll just show you an example of that in action. So what it means is that if I created a Google site actually to show it in action, here we go. So here's a Google site that I created and embedded the ThingLink in there, and you can see it's got a line of text which says click here to view the accessible version of this interactive content. And if you click on that, it takes people to a way that they can click through all the tags, and there's other options that they can look at for turning it into dyslexia friendly text, and it will show all the tags rather than just immersive reader where it shows the text in the tag. This is another way of being able to do that. So you've got full accessibility options, and this is compatible with screen readers. So I think I'm going to stop there because I know that I can talk about this all day. You can share the link as well here. And as I mentioned, you can share that to Google Classroom with that function as well. And that's as hard as it gets. It's a bit like having, that's what I said, 5 different types of base media and 5 different tag types. And you know, the world's your oyster with what you can do with it, and I can't wait to see what you create. And I hope that's given you some nice examples, and the slide deck's given you lots of links there to explore. And when you're in ThingLink itself, there's lots of demonstration videos in there as well in our learning centre, so you can see me in action, creating some other different types of uses. So I think I'm going to hand back over to Pam now and just say, Pam, is there